Welcome to Audit Archive, where we run you through some of the most questionable and rather atrocious police encounters. Today, we're looking at a case where an innocent man protecting his children from a Pitbull was illegally arrested in his front yard for no reason at all. Officers then broke into his house without a search warrant. On June 3, 2023, the Daytona Beach Police Department received a mental health call, which is a type of emergency response involving individuals experiencing mental or emotional distress. Several police officers promptly responded to the residential address, but while the officers were in the house, the owner's Pitbull was loose and ran over to the neighbor's yard, where it chased a 6-year-old up the front porch. Naturally, the child's father was rather unhappy with this, since it allegedly wasn't the first time this Pitbull posed a threat to his family. This entire encounter was captured on Officer Kevin Allen's body cam. Before we watch the footage, even though it doesn't matter, it's worth pointing out that the father initially had no idea that the officers were nearby, so his initial aggression was not directly aimed at the officers.
Hey! Hey!
Hey! I got my kid in the Pitbull and chased him up my steps. No sense in that.
You think we sent the dog over here on purpose?
It happens all the time. She lets it out.
Okay, we're trying to deal with it. Take it easy.
It's nothing to
Slow
take it
down.
easy. My damn child's getting chased by a Pitbull. Chase your kid, you see what happens.
Hey man, take it easy.
It's wrong, man. If it happened to your kids, it'd be the same way.
Put your hands up.
It's your house,
Put
my
your hands.
house.
Put your hands up.
My hands are right
Put your
here.
hands up.
My hands are here, sir.
Put your hands behind your back.
Why? I've done nothing wrong. Zero wrong, sir. Sitting out here watching my turtle with my kids. The next thing I know, we're getting handcuffed in my front yard over a pit bull chasing us. Something wrong there.
You ever hear of open carry?
Yes, this is private property. It's totally legal. I own this home.
Let's walk this way.
No, I'm not coming off my property.
Let's walk this way.
My child's in there with nobody to watch it.
Sit him down right here.
Hold on one second. Go ahead and sit
Go
flat
ahead,
on your
search
back. Sorry?
him. Search him.
Which one says what?
Hold on 1 second.
All right, let me know what you need to.
What's your radio? Get your radio off?
Who's that?
Five, not true.
What?
I'm just straightening my back, nothing.
You got anybody else 10 in the area here?
Five there.
What crime have I committed here?
Open carry.
It's private property.
Doesn't matter.
Yes, it does.
Want to bet?
790 covers it.
Okay.
Now, it's time we understood what exactly happened here. We've seen the father standing in the front yard of the house he owns, complaining that the Pitbull was a threat to a 6-year-old who could be very easily injured if attacked. It's no question that this was a valid argument, and one that Officer Allen should have understood. Except, he clearly didn't. He immediately escalated the situation instead. Officer Allen saw that the father had a firearm holstered by his waist, and even though he showed absolutely no signs of reaching for the weapon, Officer Allen apparently took it as a major threat and immediately restrained him. It turned out that it wasn't just a detention, but an arrest was made for open carrying. To illustrate how ridiculous this was, let's first take a look at Section 790.053 of the Florida statutes. Except as otherwise provided by law and in subsection 2, it is unlawful for any person to openly carry on or about his or her person any firearm or electric weapon or device. Subsection 2 states that a person may openly carry for purposes of lawful self-defense. Though we can simply claim that the father was open carrying out of self-defense and for his child's safety against the Pitbull, Section 790.25 states that, notwithstanding Section 790.053, meaning regardless of the situation we just looked at, the following persons may own, possess, and lawfully use firearms and other weapons, ammunition, and supplies for lawful purposes. A person possessing weapons or firearms at his or her home or place of business. Judging by these statutes, we can conclude that Officer Allen had illegally arrested the father since no crime was committed whatsoever.
Watch your hood. Watch your hood.
Yes.
Pull my pants up. Over there.
say your 6-year-old is the only one on there?
That's correct.
Okay.
I'm here looking at my tortoise eating a strawberry, and then Pitbull comes up and runs up on my child.
Child's inside, right?
I think so. I'm over here.
You have someone we can call?
My wife's on her way home now.
For some reason, these officers are still running full code lights and sirens, and Officer Allen does not tell them to slow down, even though the subject is now in handcuffs and placed under arrest. Note that it's common for law enforcement officers to communicate with other responding units once a suspect is detained or the immediate threat is neutralized. Doing so not only prevents unnecessary risk, but also allows for a more measured response. The responding officers were probably showing up to the scene, thinking that an armed man was threatening the officers, which was clearly not the case. Now, watch as Officer Allen steps onto the front porch without a valid search warrant and speaks to a fellow officer about the ordeal. Listen closely because many lies were told.
Okay.
What do you got?
Dealing with this next door. Came out, dog running around. He starts screaming at the top of his lungs at us, cursing. So I walked over like, hey, man, we're good.
Central Bureau Office 76, can you start towards the disturbance?
Put this on his hip.
What happened now? Dog screaming.
So we're next door. Dealing with that. See the holster on his hip?
Yeah.
76, that was
He's got
nothing
this
came
on.
across.
And he's telling me, get the fuck up. He's screaming like that. Take it
Gonna be
easy.
no-go.
He's like
300
this.
North Ridgeway, 300 North Ridgeway. RV is advising that a
He's like
male
this.
following her threatening her.
Dude, you always come like this close. So he like motioned for it?
He was like this, yeah.
You Mirandized me? Ask him what the f his problem is.
What we can perceive from their conversation is that, first of all, Officer Allen was outright lying when he claimed that the father was reaching for his firearm. What's ironic is that Officer Allen was the one to reach for his own firearm instead. Let's review that portion of the footage once more.
You think we sent the dog over here on purpose?
It happens all the time. She lets it out.
Okay, we're trying to deal with it. Take it easy.
It's nothing to
Slow
take it
down.
easy. My damn child's getting chased by a pit bull. Chase your kid, you see what happens.
Hey, man, take it easy.
It's wrong, man. If it happened to your kids, it'd be the same way.
Put your hands up.
It's your house,
Put
my
your hands.
house.
Put your hands up.
My hands are right
Put your
here.
hands up.
My hands are.
As we've just seen, the father was nowhere close to reaching for his weapon. He made no sudden movements and clearly didn't wish to incite physical violence. He was quite simply upset about his child being chased by a pit bull, and it wasn't the first time. This is an appropriate time to discuss exactly when a law enforcement officer is legally allowed to place a subject under arrest. Detainment and arrest are often confused with one another, so let's clarify this. Detainment occurs when the police believe you have committed an illegal act, but do not have enough evidence to charge you with a crime. They may restrict your freedom of movement. However, there is a limited amount of time the police can detain a suspect, and you are not required to provide identifying information when asked by the police. On the other hand, the police will place you under arrest when they reasonably believe you committed a crime. Police are permitted to use reasonable force to make an arrest, and once you've been placed under arrest, they can require that you provide identifying information. To summarize, you might be detained when the police suspect you committed a crime, but to place a suspect under arrest, the police must have probable cause to believe you committed an illegal act. Judging by this, what we find is that the father was illegally arrested at this point, since the officers did not have probable cause to believe he had committed a crime. We've already discussed how the father had done nothing wrong at all. Now, watch as the officers stepped inside the house, searching around without a warrant. They walked well past the front door and made their way into what appeared to be a kitchen area. They essentially entered the father's property with zero permission from anyone. This is otherwise known as trespassing on private property. The worst part about it all is that officers even interrogated the child, which was completely unwarranted. The footage is blurred for privacy.
You got open carry.
He's on his own property.
Doesn't matter. It's just like that one down there.
Really?
I'm pretty sure, right?
Yeah.
Remember that one there at the corner there? He's,
Yeah. I would definitely check with Sirs though, just CYA.
You want to stay here with her?
Yeah.
Hang tight, baby, okay?
All your last name.
What's your name? Lindsay?
John.
Paisley.
J-O.
That's a pretty name. How old are you?
Middle initial.
6?
William,
Is that your dad?
Okay, date of birth.
05/30/75.
Yeah.
I'm just shifting. I ain't going nowhere. I'm not back being arched.
I understand.
Hang on 1 second, okay?
Alpha 50 Central, switching to teletype. Coming.
Is he a nice dad? Nice daddy?
Florida by name.
Kind of. Are you afraid of him? How does he get mad?
Last name Leggett. Lima Echo Golf Echo Tango Tango.
Your
First
sister's
name
here?
John. Juliet Oscar Hotel November. Middle initial Whiskey. Date of birth 05/30/1975.
Can you call your mom for me? Do you have her phone number?
10-4, thank you.
I can try and call home my dad. I like to say things that lets me call people, and I think that it doesn't have 911 on it. But I want to call 911 even if like on the Pitbull over there keep messing.
Just sit down like a normal person. Maybe over
Okay.
there on that wooden plank.
Yeah, you're fine.
Huh?
Yeah, come over here on the side.
I got it. I'm not gonna take off. If you did, you'd see
He
a
was
little
hitting
different.
somebody?
One disfigurement, one time that
Who
she
was he
falls off
hitting?
and hits her head on the concrete. You know what happens?
Was he
They go
hitting you?
move somewhere else.
No, I wasn't in
Y'all
the
take the
house.
dog to the pound. My child is hurt for life.
That's
Scarred, disfigured, mentally imbalanced from the head back to the head hitting the ground.
my dad's room.
All over somebody's fur bag.
Like
Pitbull.
the dog was there and
Can't control.
Dad was just scared because it ran inside before the dog got to me. I don't even know what happened.
Okay.
He said we'll get to. He's talking to Sergeant right now. Out in the front yard of the other house.
So, what's going on?
He's talking to Sergeant in front of the other house right now about this whole situation, and I asked. He's talking to Sergeant about this thing right now.
Okay.
Probably my wife here.
Can you grab his phone?
Can you put it in the shade? It'll ruin it in the sun.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
Officer Jackson's grabbing it.
Is that your wife calling?
Sorry?
Is that your wife calling?
Can't see what you'd have to tell me.
Bella and Paisley.
Yes, answer that's my daughter.
Go ahead and answer.
Yeah, go ahead and answer.
Let him.
Yeah.
Hey, where y'all at? Hello?
If it says
Here,
when you make it, it's my
Thing at the screen or
mother.
whatever. Hold on 1 second, darling. We're working it.
Oh
Push the button on the side. It's not.
my dad.
Oh, please tell me. Hey, how you doing?
In the back of his truck.
Good. I'm here with police at the house.
There's like,
Say hi to them.
there's like lots of things in the
Yeah.
back.
Bring some rubber duckies that you can hand to them like you always do. Hurry home, okay?
He took him
They're waiting for you to give them the rubber duckies. So hurry on home, okay?
and he like has stuff
Thank
under
you.
his bed, but I don't really get to look under there.
Good.
I guess so.
Alright, that's it.
All right, tell Mom to come on home, okay? All right. Bye-bye.
We're just gonna stop somewhere, okay?
No, don't stop nowhere real quick. Just come on home, please. Put your mom on.
I don't really know where my mom's at because
Hey, come on home real quick.
here where like if it's
No, we had a pit bull in the front yard. Just come on home. Where you at?
I can like I don't know if I can call Bella on there. It doesn't say her name.
All right, well, come on home. In about 10 minutes.
What grade are you in?
First grade.
First grade.
All right, appreciate it. Come straight home.
Second grade. Because I graduated.
Thank you.
What school do you go to?
To the fire station.
That's cool.
Okay.
If the sun starts
No, we're good now.
drilling it, let me know.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Now, after speaking to the child in a malicious manner, trying to extract information that could possibly land the father in trouble, the officers still went ahead and contacted the Florida Department of Children and Families, DCF for short. They attempted to file a report and get the father in for a violation of a dangerous situation, but the DCF ultimately unfounded the case.
Did you memorize it?
No. Did you? Alright, sir. These are your rights. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say may be used as evidence against you. You have the right to talk to an attorney, have him or her with you now or any time during questioning. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed to represent you. If at any time you wish to stop talking or have an attorney present, all questioning will be stopped at your request. Do you understand these rights?
Yes, sir.
With these rights in mind, are you willing to talk to us?
No, sir.
So you said a concealed carry passes July 2nd?
July 1st, that goes into effect.
But that has nothing to do with open carry.
Correct.
Has he been around yet?
I ran.
You ran him?
Yeah.
Any probation status or anything?
Negative valid.
You work for FPL? Sir,
Yes, sir.
you work for FPL?
Yeah. Before that, I spent 15 years overseas working for the U.S. government.
How you look familiar?
Beautiful career, beautiful life, wonderful family, support the community, pay taxes, fundraiser thing. Yep, we do all that. Do everything legal. Wife works in the medical field, helping people. That's all we do.
Amidst this, Sergeant Sears and Lieutenant Harris both showed up at the scene and spoke to the officers about what had happened. After taking their side of the story, two officers were seen digging in their phones trying to figure out whether the arrest was legal or not. They were likely going through the Florida statutes and trying their best to find two dots that could meet.
I'll get it. You deal with
I
it.
never know, like, with the white tiles, I'm like, who is it? Because they all drive white tiles. We're about to sit down at Steve's Diner.
Just how?
We'll fit
I mean, you got the aggressive
ring
part.
clubs, like,
I used to. I have a stash clipper in my truck. I used all my gloves this morning.
Gives that
I'm
look.
about to ask my mom because she just started working.
Says
at
you,
a
I mean, I
rehab
guess you can
facility.
carry in your
She
yard,
just
but
leaves
if
there.
you do it
Harbor
in a
Freight
aggressive
sells them in
manner
big boxes.
within
Yeah,
sight
for
of the
free.
public
I
or
was gonna
something.
ask her if she can get that work. Swipe something.
No public. It was just you. You walked in this yard, or you just
I
walked?
walked over there, just walking up.
Because to get the dog off of his. Well,
Yeah,
his
he was
request.
screaming and cursing at me,
Yeah.
so disorderly. So I was just trying to calm him down a little bit because he's telling me to come get this fucking dog, screaming at the top of his lungs. Take it easy. I walked over. He's got a gun on, just pair of shorts, no shirt, holster, gun. He's like this. Come get this fucking dog out of here.
All right. But you just.
Hey, Paisley,
He's aggressive.
what were you doing in the front yard
Mad at the
today
dog, but you're coming up, and he's like this.
with the tortoise?
I mean, you felt like he was going towards you, or well, I mean, you don't
Yeah.
know. You don't know.
What did you do when you? Why did you tap your daddy on the
His
shoulder?
anger, I mean, his anger was at the dog, but then, the police officer sitting right here, and you got you.
Right.
Run see it, John, too.
I'm doing it now.
Yeah, see
Where
what
was the
this
pit
is.
bull
We
going?
have any priors?
Priors, mental,
Just a civil at the house.
Well, all right, why did you run,
yeah, mental
Paisley?
firearms.
I didn't ask.
Depending on whichever way we go with this.
His mother's coming here now, so
How old is
It was going to attack you?
the kid
Oh.
is 6. He's
Has
like
it ever
probably
ran
50.
after you before?
She's on her way.
Yeah.
The 6-year-old daughter.
I know we ran into this.
Look at your dad, Paisley. He's in handcuffs. Okay.
I thought it was with concealed carry in the yard or something like that.
Wonderful
or,
day, isn't it?
Um,
It's a beautiful day.
And the one thing I found says you can
Pickles
open
get a
carry,
strawberry?
like, trimming your trees and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Pickles the tortoise?
Yeah. Well,
Yep.
you got children?
I do not.
One day you will. You'll remember me sitting here in handcuffs when you have children. Love for a child surpasses anything else,
I understand.
especially when you got your back turned and he taps you on the shoulder and you're facing a pit bull.
I don't blame
In
you
your
for
front
defending your
yard.
kid at all. It's just
Didn't defend him. Did I pull my pistol or anything? No. Could I? Yes. Paisley, was the pit bull walking up all smiling? Was he running? Straight for who? Okay, that's good to know.
Finally, the mother arrived at the house and was immediately questioned by the officers. The father made sure to inform his wife that she should remain silent since all necessary questions had already been asked. As expected, the wife was just as furious about this ordeal.
Tammy, they've already read me my rights. There's nothing more to discuss. Okay? Okay, Tammy? There's nothing else to discuss. Tammy, they've already read me my rights. There's nothing else to discuss. Tammy? Tammy, there's nothing left to discuss. Okay? Okay? Okay, Tammy?
he's just getting something sorted out.
There's nothing that he's getting her spun up. And she's going to get spun up more and more, just like any normal wife would do when her husband's got cuffs in the front yard. Tammy, thank you.
Stand up, sir.
The folks in the North House said that they never have any problems. And
Is it for old people? They're very, very old. There's an old guy that answered the door.
Ultimately, even after 2 supervisors were present at the scene, the father remained under arrest and was transported to the Volusia County Jail, where he had to bond out. Just 30 days later, all charges were dropped against the father, which was rather unsurprising, since we already know how ridiculously illegal the arrest was to begin with. As of the date of this recording, the father plans to file a lawsuit against all the Daytona Beach police officers for the constitutional rights that were violated in the encounter. Be sure to check out our previous video, where we cover another outrageous police encounter